So over the past few days, I was at a Fallout 76 event invited by Bethesda. Now, full disclosure, I think this is very important to actually talk about. Bethesda foot the bill for a lot of things around this event. I wasn't paid directly, but they did pay for my travel, as well as the hotel I stayed in, and actually provided meals and like a goodie bag that I'll get into a little bit later. Now, of course, this is going to play somewhat of a role with your impressions on a game. I think I stayed pretty fair. Obviously, I made several videos criticizing Bethesda over the past couple of months about this, and I think when you watch my opinion video on like my first impressions for Fallout 76, it'll be representative of my actual views, and I don't think I was swayed one way or another heavily by my invitation and them paying for a bunch of stuff. Either way though, it's definitely something to keep in mind when you actually watch my coverage of this game going forward. So the event itself was really cool. It took place at the Greenbrier, which is actually a location in the game itself. Throughout this video, you're going to see me subbing in footage from my experience there, along with some gameplay that is just random. Getting to the Greenbrier wasn't the easiest thing in the world. I had to drive a bit to the airport, I had to take a plane to another airport, then from there take an Uber to a private airport, I guess. More or less, Bethesda actually chartered a flight for us to take to this event. And then from there, you land at a Greenbrier airport, take a shuttle, and then you're at the hotel. I believe it's called the Greenbrier Resort, which is very accurate. This place is massive, both the building itself and the actual property. A lot of you will be able to find this out firsthand in game, but it definitely is a pretty wild location. I don't know if I got like some kind of special room, but the size of my room was pretty insane. Like the actual distance between the bed and the bathroom is bigger than like my living room at home. On the first night there, we basically got a bunker tour, which unfortunately, since it's currently being used to store data for certain companies, because, you know, it's a bunker, may as well put it to use. But as a result of that, we actually couldn't capture footage or audio from within that bunker. Either way, this thing's really cool. It was actually built secretly during the Cold War era. It was built secretly because even though it's a bunker, it wouldn't be able to survive a direct nuclear hit. So the idea was, back then, bombs weren't missiles, they were dropped by planes. So Congress would have enough time to actually get to this bunker after they were alerted that planes were coming to the United States and specifically Washington, D.C. It was far enough from D.C. that the nuclear blast wouldn't affect it, and actually in a very strategically placed mountainous region, so it would even be further protected. Some of the crazy parts about the bunker, it was actually hidden in plain sight. So there's a part of the hotel that is literally like the entrance to the bunker, but when the doors closed, it just looks like it's a continuation of the wallpaper and you can't even tell there's a bunker there. Inside, there were bunk beds for all the different members of Congress, but even beyond that, they had to, in real time, keep stock of all of Congress's medications. There's a few hundred members of Congress, so they had to keep everything that they took on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis. And in addition, it was constantly kept up to date with the latest technology, both medical and communication wise. Even beyond that, Bethesda had a party and various games in the bunker, which, you know, that's definitely like a bucket list thing right there. I went to an open bar party inside of a bunker. That's pretty freaking awesome. As cool as the bunker was though, again, I don't have a ton of footage from it. We got a speech from Pete Hines on what we can and can't show. Then there, of course, was the party and dinner in the bunker, but day 2 was the real highlight of the trip. This is the day I actually got to play Fallout 76. I can't talk about this until tomorrow, and I'm going to have a lot of content coming, so don't worry. And we actually got a roundtable interview with certain people from Bethesda, also particularly cool. I got to play the game for 3 hours, and that obviously took up a good chunk of the day, but even beyond that, there was other activities during this day also. I spent a lot of time actually exploring the Greenbrier, which is a massive facility. There's the one main building that you've probably seen images of, you've seen it in game, but also a full golf course, which I had to walk through because one night I missed the last shuttle, and several other buildings that are all on the same property. There's a couple times I took a shuttle and it was just literally taking me from one part of the Greenbrier to another part of the Greenbrier, and it was still like a 5-10 minute ride. Then we basically did have the second night dinner, which involved axe throwing. You could see an owl and actually hold it, take pictures with it. I avoided that. But all in all, this was definitely a particularly cool experience. The Greenbrier as a location is just going to be super memorable. This is only going to be exaggerated by the fact that we'll get to all play it in game later on. Like some of the footage you're seeing in the background, you'll get to see again because you're going to be in that spot in the Greenbrier in Fallout 76. But after our playtest of Fallout 76, we actually got a goodie bag of various things. You did have a pen and a book to go along with it for all of my notes on my opinions of this game. You got a little Vault Boy holder that could basically hold your phone or actually a controller. Those were all set up as we were playing the game to put your controller down. The backpack itself was actually particularly cool, and apparently we're getting a bottle of that Nuka rum, which I actually tried while here, and although it is pretty pricey at $80. The bottle looks really cool in person. It's pretty big. And the rum itself honestly wasn't that bad. I'm not a huge rum drinker, but as far as rums go and as far as cool novelty Fallout items go, 80 bucks isn't the worst in the world. You'll definitely be able to sell it for more after the fact. So yeah, that was my experience at the Greenbrier and the Fallout 76 event. Obviously, the main component of this was playing Fallout 76, and I can't share a ton of that with you right now. I know some other press outlets decide to share that early, but hey, we're not supposed to do that. And honestly, more so than anything else, I feel like it's kind of important to upload this as a full disclosure. Obviously, Bethesda did a lot for me as one individual in this event, and just having it out there so people know I went through this experience and it can affect my views of the game. I'd like to think it didn't in my head, but now all of you as viewers can make your own judgment on that. Either way, a lot of stuff is coming tomorrow. Hopefully you have a lot of free time. As far as what I'm actually going to upload, first, I'm going to upload 3 hours of just the raw footage. Then I'm also going to have my kind of opinions and impressions. I already filmed that video, so I think a lot of you guys will like it. It's pretty long. And then one thing we're going to do is, for those of you that don't want to just watch 3 hours of Fallout 76 footage, do a brief commentary, but really kind of a pseudo raw gameplay, and just highlight some of the most interesting and the coolest things I did with my experience in Fallout 76. And at some point I'll probably make a video on the interview I got to do as a roundtable, so there were other people there, but it reveals a lot of other details about Fallout 76. Either way, as always, again, I thank you all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you're excited for tomorrow. And oh yeah, what happened to my Twitter? So a lot of people have been messaging me about this. Basically, while I was at the event, I just one day opened Twitter. I saw it said I was born in 1996. I decided to change that for some reason to 1997 for whatever reason. And Twitter said, well, since you did that, that means you were under 13 when you made that account. That is a violation of their terms of service, and thus my account has been locked. I'm working to get it fixed. I don't actually know if I'm going to get my Twitter account back, but yeah, despite the fact that I am presently 21, I cannot use my Twitter account. If anyone knows someone at Twitter, hey, send me a message, send me an email. But that's pretty much it for this one. As always, again, I thank you for watching, and I hope to see you guys all next time. Later.
Mission critical bomb diffuser activated.